Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Harshita and today's video is about 5 things that I wish I knew before graduating law school. So without further ado, let's dive right into the video. So the first thing is networking matters more than your GPA. So I'm not here to debate about whether your GPA or your CGPA is important or not. Of course, that's not in dispute. Your CGPA is something that is extremely important for you in your 5 years of law school. But I'm here to tell you that networking matters maybe as much or more than your GPA. So now that I've graduated and it's going to be around a year into this profession, I have understood the importance of networking. I also started realizing the importance of networking in my 5th year when you are in a situation to find the best job for yourself. So I was never a student who was a nerd or who prioritized studying above everything else. I was always someone who loved socializing, who loved meeting new people and loved talking to people. I used to participate in different competitions and I always tried to do something else. But there are a lot of students who prioritize their GPA way more than everything else. They are always focused on the course that is being taught and to get the best possible marks. And in that situation, they tend to leave out on something as important as networking in law school. So in the field of law, like any other career, there is a lot of source that comes into play, and a lot of people get into good jobs through source, and there is nothing wrong with that. If you have a network, why wouldn't you make use of it? Even for internships, there are only so many firms that come to your college, and there are only so many firms that hire at the end of your 5th year or at the end of your 4th year. So it is extremely important to speak to people, to speak to your seniors, to speak to different people, because you never know where you might find a network from. I remember when I was in my first year of law school, I used to play basketball with my seniors and they were all in the 5th year. And when I entered my 5th year, they were already in the profession for say 4 to 5 years. So the bond that I created with them was really helpful for me in my 5th year. I did speak to so many of my seniors to possibly get a job into a good place or to get an internship. And now those seniors, since they had been in the profession for 4 to 5 years, they also had a network of friends, a network of people in a variety of law firms that they could introduce me to. That thing really helped me in my 5th year. I got to reach out to so many firms that I was not being able to do on an individual level or through my college. There are only so many emails that an HR will read, but if your email is coming through someone who is inside the firm, the chances of the HR reading the email is much more. This is one of the most important things I feel that a law student should do, because not everyone has a contact and most of the people have to make contacts themselves. So if you take a proactive approach in networking, getting to know people, then I think that will be beneficial for you. But also, don't ever just approach people with the mentality that they might in the future turn into a network or a possibility of being a source for you. That is not how it works. If you also start networking, then it's not just a one-way street. It might also be possible that the person that you are friends with now, they also want your help. And because of your networks, you can connect them with someone who can actually help them. So I feel that in law, you really need to have good networks, and not just when you're in law school. Even if you've graduated and you're practicing, I feel that it's very important to network, because you need to know what is going on with other people in the market, and to have an understanding of that, you need to have friends who open up to you. And it also helps you in switching, in getting into a better place, in getting to know if there is a possibility to get into a better place. Networking is not just about making friends. You can also network and have a good relationship with your professors or your associates where you're interning. So there was a professor in my college who taught me a course and I had a good bond with her. So when I was trying to get an internship, I knew that that person had a contact in that particular firm. So even though it did not materialize, just having the option or the possibility of getting into that firm through someone you know is also a big deal. Just because it did not materialize once, it does not mean that you cannot make good of that network that you've built anytime in the future. So the second thing is that internships should be strategic and not just resume fillers. God, I wish I knew this before graduating law school. So like I said, I'm a person who wants to try different things and wants to see what's out there before committing to one thing. So in my law school as well, I wanted to try the different firms out there, and I wanted to see what the practice area or the work is like at the different firms. So I remember interning at CAM, Trilegal and Khaitan. These are one of the top tier internships that I've done. And only if I could have seen one internship strategically rather than, just doing good work and not thinking about it after that, whatever happened in the fifth year wouldn't have happened. I will talk about it someday when, I can laugh about it, but not right now. It's still traumatizing. Whenever you're doing an internship, you need to, like I said in the first point, you need to build relationships with the associates and you need to do extremely good work. And if you're in your third or your fourth year, you need to not constantly, but you need to let your associates know that you're in this for the long run and you're not just looking at this like an internship, but you're also looking at this like a possibility of this turning into a job. Now, if you approach an internship strategically, and you should only approach an internship strategically in your third or your fourth year, in your first 2 years, you can actually do a variety of internships, learn from them, and make sure you do not repeat the same mistakes. But in your third and fourth year, you should look at them strategically. You should know where you want to work, probably at least what practice area you want to work in. Also know that always interning at a big firm does not mean that you're at the best of the place. Mostly the big firms do not have the time or the capacity to put in so much effort with the intern. So the chances of you learning a lot and having like a one-on-one interaction or a lot of face time with the associates or the senior associate is very less. So in the first 2 years, you can intern with small places and get a lot of knowledge and see how everything works, and then move on to big firms. Pick internships on the basis of your career goals, see what you want to do, and then look for places that that align with what you want to do, that do what you want to do, and that will make it a whole lot easier. Please make sure that you have a good rapport with the associates over there and the senior associates if you have that face time with them. If you have a good relationship, you can always go back to them. You can speak with them, you can contact them for any question or any other help that you might want. I had been doing that, and I did make a lot of good bonds with some of the associates from Khaitan or the other internships that I've done. I was interning at a firm and I really had an extremely good bond with one of the associates. I worked very hard and they really liked my work. And so because of that, I had made a bond with them. So when I was in my fifth year and I was looking for jobs, I did reach out to them a lot of times, and they were extremely helpful. They helped me get my CV into this law firms that I wanted, and it did turn out to be a great thing. So the third thing, your first job might not always be your dream job. It's okay to not have your first job be your dream job, or the first job that you do is the one that you've always wanted to do. It's always a learning experience, and you actually start discovering what you like or don't like. What is the kind of place that you do actually see yourself working at? What exactly a workplace looks like, how the work life is, how they behave, and what is something that aligns with what you have in mind and what is something that does not align with what you have in mind. I wouldn't say do it just for the sake of doing it, but try to see what is something in that job that is not working for you. If your first job is in litigation or in corporate, you might realize that either litigation or corporate is not for you and you're meant for the other one. So don't be disheartened. You will find out what you like, what you don't like eventually. And I would just say, even if you don't like your first job, just give it your all and work hard. So the fourth thing is that nobody holds your hand and you're expected to deliver from day one. So in law school, you're given a lot of space to adjust to a new environment, and you're given a lot of help to adjust into the system of your college. Before any course, you're told what books to read, what cases to understand, what videos to watch, and what will come in your exam and what will not. But when you enter the real world, there is nothing like that. Most of the associates, senior associates, partners do not have the patience to sit with you and teach you each and everything. Even if you're extremely new to this, they would be expecting that you know it. And even if you don't know, they wouldn't expect themselves to sit with you and walk you through that entire process. The entire switch from an intern to an associate that happens at the end of your 5th year is a big and a huge shift. As an intern, you don't have any, responsibility or liability on the work that you're doing. But as an associate, you are responsible for your work and the intern that you're working with. So most of the associates and partners do say that, you're just a junior, so you are allowed to ask as many questions as you have to understand the concept. But I've also realized that no one has the patience to actually, entertain the variety of questions that you have. You are expected to learn by yourself, learn on the job, and deliver good quality work, even if you're doing that for the first time. So you need to be mentally prepared for something like that, and you need to know what you're getting into, and you need to put in those extra 2-3 hours into learning what you don't know. So the 5th thing is, your degree can get you into a good law firm, but your skills are what keep you there. So you might be a great student who knows the law very well, and you're a straight A student, you've got amazing grades in law school, but you cannot communicate well, or when spoken to, you cannot speak well. That will be seen as something negative on you. You really need to work on your communication skills in those 5 years of law school. You really need to work on your research skills, your drafting skills and whatnot. So even if you have the perfect grades, just having the perfect grades will not ensure your survival in the job that you're in. You need to know how to talk to people or how to put your point forward. So whenever you're talking to like a partner or a principal associate, they wouldn't give you like 10 to 15 minutes to explain where you're coming from. Partners don't have so much time to entertain you or to, listen to your understanding or whatever rationale that you have. So you need to be able to speak to them, put your point forward in the most less amount of time as possible. You need to be able to know what to say, when to say, and how to say it. Your communication skills are the most important thing whenever you're talking to other counsels, your clients or bankers, whatever. You need to be able to explain to them what and where you are coming from. Every role comes with a different set of responsibilities and a different set of communication style, right? So you need to understand which role are you in and what kind of a communication style do you need to adapt to. When you're in law school, rather than just focusing on your academics and your grades in your courses, you also need to focus on a lot of other things that come with law school and come with being a lawyer. So you need to focus on your networking skills, your communication skills. You need to see things differently. You need to change your approach to things. You need to make sure that, you have a plan in mind, and it's okay to not know what you want to do. But I would suggest that when you're in your 4th year, you should try to figure out what you want to do and work towards a firm or a place that will help you achieve that goal. So yeah, that was about it for this video. If you guys have any questions, put it down in the comments. I'd love to answer them, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.